I grew up in Melrose Park, which was prominently Italian, and we go to a neighbor's house, so we'd have dinner. Their grandmother would cook, and I kind of remembered all those dinners that my mother, my grandmother, friends, aunts, uncles, used to cook, and I wanted to bring it all into one place, and that's what I tried to do here. These are recipes that were my grandmother's, my mother's, some of my aunts, that I grew up on, and everything is made to order. That's what we key on here. We start the chicken when you order the chicken. We don't cook it at 4 o'clock and serve it till we close. When I go into a place, I try a meatball first, and then, hey, we can order here. Everything's great. I want people to say, I went to this place, Cafe Bionda. I had great food, great service, and most of all, I had a great time.
So, Megan, you're telling us that everything they do at Cafe Bionda, they do it just right. Tell us why you chose it.
Cafe Bionda is a modernized twist on Italian food in Chicago. It's sexy, it's classy, and you keep coming back for the food, but it's ultimately the experience and the people you meet that makes you want more.
Now, you described it as sexy.
It is. I mean, to begin with, the music. They make sure that the classics are playing. You've got Frank Sinatra, you've got some great music,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so great music, you've got a great bar scene, okay? You aren't going to sit there by yourself very long. People are really open and accommodating and want to talk about the food and talk about the drinks and make recommendations, which is what I look for in any restaurant.
It's a place that has a lot of buzz to it. And I mean, you go in there and you feel the energy, and you could easily spend a night there by the bar, hanging out. I mean, it's a happy energy kind of place. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it being a place to go with a girl, and a girlfriend, and just hang out there.
What I found about the place, it was a very nice restaurant from the standpoint that it was laid out into small dining rooms. Mm-hmm. So it was a very intimate experience. Well, we went there in the afternoon, so it wasn't really, it was kind of empty. Yeah. So we really focused more on the food, which was fantastic. Yeah. It was a great, presentation. However, it didn't really have the wow factor for me.
What were some of the items that you ordered off the menu?
What I had was it was a special of the day, and it was a chicken breast that was covered with jalapeno peppers, and there was a delightful sauce on it along with garlic potatoes, and it was excellent. We did have the mussels, and the mussels were good, but again, they were average. I've had some that were a little bit more, had a little more pizzazz to it. The dessert, we had tiramisu, and what can you say about tiramisu? I mean, it's good everywhere, but it was very excellent in that restaurant.
That sounds like a wow factor. What else are you looking for?
Well, tell us about the food. What are some of your favorite dishes?
For appetizers, I mean, I've had pretty much the whole menu, but the tomato mozzarella salad is fabulous. I mean, that comes back to the freshness. Aunt Mimi's stuffed shells are probably a favorite among people that come in and discover the place. Nana's gravy's great.
Sounds like there's a lot of family recipes, though, that Joe's using.
There are. And the way I gather it, I think Joe, he's the head chef and also part owner, takes a lot of recipes straight from his home and straight from his childhood. So, again, you're having food that's traditional Italian cuisine, but it's been modernized.
I think the food was very good, but I don't really agree with Megan on the modern twist. I think the more inventive stuff over there you should shy away from. We went with one of their recommendations for something that was a little bit different, and that was a seafood with asparagus, and it was a little bit more of a modern twist. It wasn't a home run, it was average. But I got something that was a traditional dish, which was the tilapia France.
The French tilapia.
The French tilapia. That's right. And that was excellent. And our appetizers were fantastic. And I thought the food was solid. I would go back for the good food. But, I mean, was it hitting it out of the ballpark? The food, no.
One thing that I'd like to make note of is that, an Italian restaurant in Chicago has got a lot of competition.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's going to be, perhaps, double or triple the number of restaurants that they would have to compete against. And I have to say that in its defense, if you will.
Given that, what makes one that's really great stand out?
Well, it did stand out in the sense that, there's really not, there isn't so much happening down on the south side of the city still. I mean, it's developing, but it's not fully there. And that place really had a fantastic energy. You walk in and you were like, oh, this is great. I really like the feeling here.
Now, Megan, I used to actually live in the area. This is a few years back before it was like, the bustling South Loop. And, anytime a restaurant opened up, we were just so grateful. But, it seems the residents there really support the restaurant just because, like I said, I was just so happy every time a place opened.
Yeah, you've got a ton of local people from the South Loop. A bunch of Southsiders make that their main staple at least 3-4 times a week. It's got a good buzz, like you said, but it's the food, it's the wine, it's fresh. Everything is fresh.
All right, Megan, you chose Cafe Bionda. Give us a summary.
Classy, sexy. It's a good fit for anybody who's looking for great Italian food that lingers.
All right. Andy?
I feel it's a great place in the city of Chicago to eat for an Italian restaurant. However, I feel that it's one of many, and it wouldn't necessarily be a destination that I would specifically go to in the city to visit.
All right. Alexis?
Warm, cozy atmosphere. It is solid Italian food. It definitely hits the spot.
Well, you can try Aunt Mimi's stuffed shells and more at Cafe Bionda, 1924 South State Street, 312-326-9800. They're open for lunch and dinner Monday through Friday and for dinner only on Saturday and Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is $31.